Commissioner Murphy, would you give our invitation tonight, please?
You bow with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to come together to take care of the people's business. We ask that you give us the wisdom to make the right decisions and look at all the issues from both sides. We ask that you be with folks that couldn't be here with us tonight. We have some sickness among some of the leaders here in the county. We thank you for all the guests that you have here with us tonight. And, we ask all these things in your dear son's name. Amen.
Amen. Commissioner Carter, will you lead us in prayer?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gary Carter. Okay. Ooh. That's what I did it again. I did that again. Number 4 on the agenda is announcing of the quorum. So everyone here, please press present.
Stephen Stokes, Sonny Paul, Bill Melton, Jimmy Keniston, Darrell Higgs. We have 13 present and 5 absent. We have a quorum.
Number 1 is the approval of our agenda.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to amend the agenda to reflect today's date and all the paperwork for this night's meeting.
Okay. You're making that in the form of a motion. Do I have a second? A second by Commissioner Douglas. Okay. All in favor? Say aye. Anyone opposed? Next on our agenda, we're going to do something a little bit different. Before the Citizens Forum, we have some special guests here tonight. So I'm going to turn this over to Mayor Ward at this time.
Yeah, we've got some special guests here tonight that we want to honor, and I'm going to ask Monty Ballou with Congressman Kustoff's office to come forward for this. Thank you, Monty.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen of the commission and the audience. With the congressman, I get to do a lot of different things, but I can honestly say this is one of the neatest things that I have the privilege to do. Over the last year or so, I've gotten to meet several World War II veterans that have served our country and heard some of the stories from them, to what they did, to where they went, to being a young man, and from Jennifer Head just telling me a few seconds ago of a young man being 17 years of age and not hardly ever leaving Benton County to being on a ship going overseas fighting for our country. Can you all imagine that feeling? And, they say this and is the greatest generation there ever was. And I truly believe that, to everything that they've done for our country, all our veterans, but especially our World War II veterans that we hold close to our heart. I'd like to thank Brett Lashley and also Mayor Ward for helping get this together. The congressman was going to be with us the first time. Obviously, he's not able to be here tonight, so you get stuck with old Monty. But it is a privilege and one of the neatest, coolest things that I can ever do. So on behalf of Congressman David Kustoff and U.S. Congress, I would like to call Mr. Allen up here to the podium. Mr. Allen, can y'all help Mr. Allen out? And Mr. Allen had no idea what he was doing until a few minutes ago. Mr. Rogers, Brett's going to ask him up. And Ms. Jennifer Hedge.
Are we supposed to come up?
Yeah, come on up. Yes, ma'am.
Come on, get up.
He walked up the steps better than I did. So, Mr. Allen, I would like to give to you, on behalf of the U.S. Congress and Congressman David Kustoff and this county commission, a certificate of special congressional recognition to you, sir, for your service in World War II as Private Allen. Okay? Hey, and while y'all are standing.
You might want to.
This is my partner.
Oh, okay. Do what now? Oh, okay. Yeah, hang on. Let me get Mr. Rogers and Jennifer up here as well. And on behalf, Mr. Rogers, on behalf of U.S. Congress, Congressman David Kustoff, and this county commission, we want to present to you as well a certificate of special congressional recognition for your service as Private Rogers in World War II. Thank you. And Ms. Jennifer Hedge, would you come forward, please? We have a letter here recognizing the service of your father. And unfortunately, I think Jennifer's going to tell us briefly about it, but the service that your father gave to this country on behalf of the U.S. Congress and Congressman David Kustoff, the memory of your father. Thank you, Jennifer.
I have a problem. I can't hear.
That's okay. Can you say just a few words or anything about your service?
Well, it made a man out of me. I can say that, but I went to Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. That's where I got all my shots and everything, and then from there we went to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, for heavy artillery, and from that we got our training in. Well, we went to New York, got on one of those little ships, you call them, and we went back. Then after we got our training in, we come home for 30 days, and then we went back. Well, we went to France and Germany and the Russian border, and we walked patrol on the Russian border. And my outfit was we had all the heavy artillery because we was in the artillery. And whenever we got through with that, well, then the war was over, and all of the ammunition went to Sweden and Germany. And then after we got that taken care of, well, then we took all of our guns to, the little guns went to Sweden, and the big guns, of course, they went to Bamberg, Germany. So, yeah, it was a long affair. And then in March of 1947, that's when I came home.
Man, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Can we get a picture of all of you together before everybody sits down?
Yes. Hang on.
Mr. Allen, stop right here with Mr. Rogers. She wants to get a picture.
Go ahead, Mr. Rogers.
Lonnie, let's get a picture real quick.
Okay. Turn around. Let's get a picture real quick
Okay,
so we can.
All right, great.
Yeah. Right in here. You certificate right here, Mayor.
She's over
Hey, Jennifer, jump right in here. Hey, y'all hold your certificates up. Where's your
All
certificate?
right, there we go.
Mr. Blue,
Okay.
would you like for the rest of the veterans to?
Yes, yeah,
In
it's
the
right.
back there.
Come on
The
in,
other
Michael.
veterans come on in the back there.
Y'all deserve it.
That's right. Oh, you're fine, Mike, thank you. Okay, everybody look this way.
Mr. Allen.
Mr. Allen? Mr. Allen?
Hi.
Okay, there we go, all right. All right, here we go, 1, 2, 3, we get another one. All right.
Yeah, this is for Monty. Oh, Mr. Blue. Yeah, there you go, Mr. Lesh.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all. Here, go ahead, sir.
Why you want me to just tell my name and
Ranking.
Yeah, name, rank, and you.
Robert Ralph U. Rogers. I was called in off of a little old farm and at 18 put in service, and I went overseas right away, took basic training, and anyway, first thing I knew, I was captured. I weighed 87 pounds when I got back to Paris, France. And I'm telling you, as our slogan was, you don't have to worry about going to heaven. You've already been through hell. Anyway, I don't know much to tell. I'm the 83rd Division, 331st Infantry.
Well, thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
I just want to make a quick announcement with the passing of Mr. Atkins. Benton County is now down to 3 surviving World War II veterans. So appreciate every moment that you have with them. We know they're not going to be around, very long, but Benton County now has 3 surviving World War II veterans.
We appreciate this honor, and as Monty said, my dad passed away this past November, so we're sad to lose him. Daddy joined when he was 17. He was a 120-pound little scrawny thing when he left for the Navy. He said up until that point he'd only been an hour away from his home, and I told this at his funeral service in November, and he said, next thing I know, I'm at Great Lakes Naval Air Station in Chicago, and the next thing I'm on a troop train going across the country to California, and the next thing I know, I'm seeing the ocean for the very first time on a ship, biggest ship I've ever seen, going underneath the Golden Gate Bridge out into the ocean. And he said, you grow up in a hurry. And he told about being in a typhoon off of Okinawa, and he served in the Pacific Theater. But it was a very purposeful time in his life that helped him to grow up and mature. And I'm sure it was the same for a lot of the young people of that generation. But I appreciate these gentlemen so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, Chairman and Mayor, Mr. Whitworth was not able to attend tonight, and we're going to go by his house and have a little special recognition specifically for him at his house. So, would like to recognize him as well. And thank you all for your time. Thank you all for the recognition of this. And I know y'all got a lot of important, cool business, but it's going to be hard to top that right there. So, Chairman, thank you. Thank you all.
Number 2 is our citizens forum.
No, let me do the, or do you want me to do
Well, at this time, the mayor is going to present a proclamation.
Yeah, we have a proclamation. Mr. Melton's going to read it. If the Mark and the school board would come forward, I'd appreciate it.
This is truly our night to recognize people and heroes in Benton County. I'm a part of this now that the mayor asked me to read it. I wondered why. It's real long. He says he didn't want to fool with all that reading up here. This is a proclamation by the Benton County Mayor, Mr. Mark Ward, a proclamation to honor the members of the Benton County School Board and proclaim January 21 through 27 of the year 2024 School Board Appreciation Week in Benton County. Whereas an excellent public education system is vital to the quality of life in Tennessee communities and to the economic development of our state, and whereas Benton County School Board members represent a tremendous resource as local decision makers and diligently work to overcome the challenges of a changing world while providing students with the services and opportunities needed for a quality education, and whereas Benton County School Board members strive to ensure that every student is a high school graduate prepared for a career or college, and whereas the men and women of the Benton County School Board of Education are elected by the people to make decisions most appropriate for their communities, they deserve recognition and thanks for their countless hours of service to public education in Benton County and Tennessee. And now, therefore, Mayor Mark Ward hereby proclaims the week of January 21 through 27, the year 2024, School Board Appreciation Week.
Thank you, James. I think we have a new chairman of the school board. I'll present yours first. We do appreciate you guys, every one of the people on the school board. You're not getting out of that easy, Mr. Clarence. Come on up here. I want to give y'all one, and if anybody else wants one that they want to frame, just let me know, and Charlie will get it for you. But if y'all will turn around for your picture. Oh, turn around here.
Is that side, Brent?
Hey, you want to say something? No, you want to say something? Go ahead. Thank you, guys. We really appreciate you guys.
I can always talk. As he said, I am the new board chairperson. I think everybody here knows me, Shauna Kennan. I just want everybody to know that we are very thankful for the support of the county commission. I also want you to know that there's 11 of us now, going to be 12 after tonight, but all 11 of us put our kids first. I truly believe that every person that's on our board puts kids first. I personally have 3 kids in the system at 2 different schools. It's a passion of mine. Public school is a passion. So thank you.
Now we are at number 2, which is our citizens forum. And on our list first is Fire Chief Jeff Pierce. And Jeff also has some of his firemen here with him tonight, and I would like for each one of y'all to stand so we can all see you. Thank you.
Oh, that's going to be kind of hard to follow. What I come before you tonight is, for some time, me and my department have been looking to acquire some property to build a fire station on for the city. The department we have now, it's outdated. We can't get all of our trucks in it. We're having to store them in 2 different buildings, which in turn takes them quite a bit of while to get to. We have finally come up with some property that, that we thought was reasonable. It's like 4.1 or 2 acres. And the city did vote to buy it. So we are going to get it, but it's put a little bit of a strain on the city budget. We were able to get it for $150,000, which I thought was a very reasonable price. But what we're wanting tonight is to ask you all to vote to give us $50,000 to help with the city's budget. We respond to a lot of the county calls. We have nearly 400 subscribers in the county. We assist the other departments quite frequently. I think we figured it up to be like 15% of the calls that we respond to are just to help other departments. We are housing a truck now that belongs to the city and the Eva Fire Department, and which was a good asset. We went to Pennsylvania and picked that truck up. And like I said, the city voted to give them money to help with that truck, and it's an asset to the community as well. But that's what we're asking tonight is if you all will see fit to maybe just make a one-time donation to the city for $50,000. Any questions? Okay, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, as a fire department, I see you, y'all do a great job.
Thank you.
And even with Travis out there. But y'all have a mutual aid agreement with all the departments.
Absolutely.
So if the calls that y'all get outside the city, as a mutual aid, you go to that fire department. In turn, if y'all need help,
absolutely,
they'll come inside the city.
Yes.
The city had 400 subscribers.
Nearly.
There is a fee that they pay.
There is. Right now, I think for residents, it's like $50 a year. And like I said, that most of the people I've talked to, are very grateful for that. They started that several years ago when there weren't fire departments in the county, and they don't want us to discontinue it. The issue with the county departments is most of them have limited resources. They may have 7 to 10 members, that actually can respond and fight the fires, where the city has 18. And I mean, we're blessed. The city has backed us up a whole lot, and we definitely, appreciate it. But, they call on us quite a bit, especially the ones close, and the ones in the further, part of the county, they usually do not, even though we have. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mr. Pierce, do you want to go into what you're going to do about the money to build the fire hall?
Well, we're planning on trying to get a grant.
You have to own the property before you can apply for the grant.
I do what?
You have to own that property before you can apply for the grant.
Well, I think it would be a benefit too. Mm-hmm. A lot of the other properties that we did find that would have been suitable for a fire station, one property was like $500,000, mm-hmm. and I wouldn't even go to the city and ask for that because I knew better. But yes, trying to get the property and able to say we have it, we just need the grant to help build the station, yeah, would be a big asset. We've had people that said that they'd write letters for us and this and that with the Congress and this and that to trying to get grants, and we've got good grant writers, so I think that will be a plus. in the future, I'm hoping that this fire station will sometime become a full-time department. And that in turn will probably lower your ISO ratings. Right now, the Camden department is a 5/5X. And if we were full-time, it would probably drop to a 4. Very likely could drop to a 3. And that's going to save probably an individual $100, maybe $75 to $100 a year on their insurance. And I've checked with an insurance company to check that, and that's where they said that it would probably put everybody. So, and I know that's probably years down the road, but we've got to start with step one.
Yep.
So,
thank you.
That's where we're at tonight. So, any other questions?
Would the commission allow me to say something? One thing that I think that we need to think about is the city and the county working together. You know, we can get more done and we can have a lot more if we support each other and work together.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, if we can do that, like I said, I don't think the city will have difficulty getting the grant, you know, if once we have the property. But yeah, if we can all work together, it will definitely help us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Farman, for coming up here tonight. Next is Israel Melton.
I will let anybody in here. All right. My name's Israel Melton. I'm a citizen here, obviously. And I'm talking tonight about the opioid money. I know you've probably already dispersed it or whatever. I don't know what you've done with it because it seems to be like nobody's really talking about it, but it's something close to me. And I'm going to speak from an individual standpoint. I don't work for Cary Counseling. I don't work for the Hope Center. I'm a clinical director at Jacoa, and I've been a licensed A&D therapist for 8 years. I think 8 years. And I've worked at Jacoa with addiction for 14 years, and then prior to that, I was in active addiction 17 years. I've been an inmate, the wonderful Benton County Jail, not the new one, but it was many years ago, and I grew from that. And I would like to say that jail did not cure me from addiction. Prayer does not cure addiction. I know in this town a lot of people think that it's it's all about going to church, praying, and this and that. Well, I was raised correctly. Addiction is a disease. Addiction was labeled as a disease in 1957, alcoholism was. 1987, drug addiction was listed as a disease by the American Medical Association. So it don't matter what anybody's opinion is, it is a disease just like diabetes or any other disease. So it must be treated. 37% of alcoholics have mental illness issues. 51% of drug addicts have mental illness issues. If you believe you can pray away bipolar, you're nuts. If you believe you can pray away schizophrenia, you're nuts. My mom prayed for me every single night, and if prayer worked, I would not have went down the road I went down. I believe that addiction calls for professional help, and I believe what's been proposed would be Cary Counseling maybe going into the jail, and I'm all for that. I don't work for Cary Counseling. I'm receiving no money. But I have kids being raised in this county, and I'm in this county, so I have a special interest in attacking this problem. 100 people a day, roughly, die from overdose. When I was young, I had the luxury of experimenting with drugs. I could smoke marijuana and not worry about dying. That is not the case today. Everybody in this room has been touched by addiction, whether you like it or not. It's the big stigma. You know, when people think of an addict, they think of a criminal or this or that. But in reality, to qualify as a drug addict, it has to affect one of three areas in your life. It'll either affect you socially, which means your home life, your family life is crap. It'll affect you financially, and last but not least, legally. For me, it affected all three of those areas. I will say that jail did save my life because it takes pain to get well. A lot of people think you can cure addiction. It is an incurable disease. I will repeat that. It is an incurable disease. I like pain pills, and if it was curable, I would successfully be munching on pain pills right now because I like them. That's just the truth. You do not cure it. All you can do is arrest it. And there's many things available in this county that is free of charge. We have AA, NA meetings. We have Celebrate Recovery, I believe, in a couple locations. And if you guys, I think it was, 80,000 or so, roughly, maybe, in this town. Where I work in Jackson, it was way more. And what I've seen happening is everybody's coming out of the woodwork wanting the opioid money. And I just want to make sure that this commission gives it to the right people. This is a 10-year, I believe, maybe. I may be off on that, but this is a lot of money that can help people. I have a couple of recommendations that if this is given to, I think, Kerry Councilman, who was wanting to do this, that they were wanting to have classes in the jail. I would make sure the classes are done by a trained professional, either master's level or a licensed A&D counselor. I would recommend it's not like a Bible study. I myself was baptized 7 times in the county jail. Is it because I'm super religious? Absolutely not. I got out of the jail cell and I could get some dip from a trustee. I found a power greater than myself once I got out of jail. What I like about Kerry Councilman, AA, NA, is they do not dictate what your higher power is. It is irrelevant to them. If you are a Muslim, an atheist, a Christian, a Buddhist, whatever you want to be, you still have the right in this country to get sober. Period. I'm not up here talking negative about any program. Every program has its purpose. I believe that if you put inmates in a class in the county jail and when the class is over, they go back to general population, they will be deprogrammed in a matter of minutes. You can't go in and teach people how to live a new life and put them right back with the same environment where all you're talking about selling drugs, living the fast life, and doing this and that. I don't know if it's feasible for the jail to do, but I would highly recommend for it to be a successful program would be separate the inmates that are in the recovery program from the other inmates. Just how it works. I'm not running around with meth heads today for a reason. You know, it's a lot easier to bring me down than it is for me to bring everybody up. But I'm always have open arms to help anybody. 89% of people that are incarcerated do not even get treatment. Thank God where I work, and the community should know this, where I work, treatment is 100% free. We do not take any money from you. We do not, there is no bill. It comes from the taxpayers. We work off state grants, and that's where the money comes from that we receive from any people seeking treatment. And I would like to say that JACOA would be available for any type of people once they leave the program that was proposed in the Benton County Jail through Kerry Councilman. If they needed a continuum of care, they could come to where I work absolutely free. No cost to anybody in here except your regular taxes that go through for that. Let's see, drugs are everywhere. There's no cure for it. A lot of people think they can just remove these people from the environment and they'll be well. You could fly me to the North Pole right now and I'd find an Eskimo with dope in 2 hours. That's just who I am. And I want everybody to know I'm not up here on this high horse that, I got clean and I've bettered my life. I'm just better than I used to be. And I know I'm about 2 steps away. I could be right back in jail, and I have to do a daily routine to keep my sobriety a number one priority. It is not easy to reprogram people who have been in addiction for years. This last year is the first year I've had more time sober than I had in active addiction, which was 17 years. If I make it to April the 4th, I'll have 18 years. Got twins that are 15 years old. They've never known me in active addiction, thanks to a program of recovery that was freely given to me, and people put their hand out to help me. And due to that, I'm able to be a single dad and raise my kids in a decent environment. I'm definitely not the best dad on earth, but I'm definitely not on drugs or alcohol. This is my passion. This is what I'm about. I'm about helping people who cannot help themselves. I would donate time. I'm not asking for any money. If you need me for anything, I will donate time to help people get off of drugs, alcohol, show them a better way to live. I say they're putting another liquor store in town. Yippee. I mean, that's exactly what we need, you know. Let's put another liquor store in here. Let's drink it up. It's socially accepted. I have family members who can drink on Friday and never have any problems. If I drink on Friday, I break out in a rash. I'm going to break out in handcuffs within 3 days. And a lot of people that I'm speaking for are just like me. I'm a great guy. I'm spiritually fit, but I have this disease of addiction. And once I put any type of drug in my body, I do not quit until I am stopped by an outside force. That's who I am, and that's who I will always be.
Mr. Melton?
Time's up.
Yeah,
I hope nobody has any questions.
No, yeah, we appreciate you coming here, and I appreciate what you have told us. Do you have a recommendation that you would like to
Yes,
give to
my recommendation is go forth with the carried counseling. I think that's the best option that was presented, and that's what was told to me. I don't even know if that's a fact or not, but I think that's by far the best option.
Okay. Does anyone want to ask any questions?
Well, I'll just say that I've known Ezra since he was a baby. And, I mean, he had blonde hair. He was cute back then. He was
had full
all
hair.
like everything. But Israel, dealing with probation business, I've dealt with it all the years. Everybody tell you he's the best counselor that I know of. The best one in West Tennessee. He's an asset to where he worked. He's an asset to our community. And I appreciate you coming up and telling him. But like he said, you know, there ain't nobody probably been prayed for more than Israel Melton. Because Guy King can throw one out there that would beat anybody you've ever heard in your life. You know, I know it. But Israel, you know, I'm proud of what he does. I'm proud of who he is and what he's become. You know, and he is an asset to our county. And what we've always wanted to do is be able to help these people in jail so they can get away from what they have.
Yes.
And I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Israel, I know who you are now.
Yeah.
Tony, I know that.
Yes.
And when I was a young man, 16, 17 years old, I thought there was the best movie trouble in Benton County.
They were, wasn't
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
And Israel, I've known you a long time.
Yes, sir.
But you talked about the prayer and prayers, your mothers, and all that. Praise you. Look where you at, look what you're doing. So maybe some prayers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just have to take the long road. Nothing comes easy with me.
It's just not showing up there.
Is that it? Am I done? Am I done?
You're free to leave.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Israel. We have one more person on our citizens forum, and that's Mr. Ben Richardson. He has something he would like to share with the commission and the county.
Sorry, y'all, but my prosthetics had acting up, so bear with me. First off, let me say, my prosthetics acting up, so if you're going to throw something at the weatherman, give me a heads up. As many of you know, I was appointed the Benton County Weather Ready Nation Ambassador by the National Weather Service. Along with that, my responsibilities are that of the spotter coordinator. I come before you tonight not to ask for a penny. I come before you to give you good news. You guys remember that signing of that contract with Climate Vision when they stood here and gave us their word that the National Weather Service would receive full access to that radar. As of 2 months ago, the United States National Weather Service, the Department of Commerce, and NOAA all have direct access to that radar. Along with that, WBVJ now has access to that radar and use it exclusively for the weather reports. Every one of our citizens and every county around us have benefited from your decision, and you people have saved lives. Along with that, I would like to thank the mayor. Every 2 years, National Weather Service comes up here and trains more storm spotters. At our request, the mayor came up with some money for us, where we, being all of us, were able to purchase 11 weather alert radios. 6 of them were given out to the citizens of this county at that spotter class. The remaining ones were earmarked for the schools and the senior center. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And finally, I'm going to turn to you, the county commissioners, and beg you. We still have holes in our grid. The western edge of our county, we could use some more spotters. I've begged, I've pleaded, I've been online, I've talked to everybody I possibly could. Now I'm coming to you. These are your constituents. Please, we've got some gaps we need to fill. We really do. As I've said before, and as you've all been made aware, the national average between tornado warning issued and confirmed on the ground is just 13 minutes. That is the national average. And I'm not telling you nothing new. Our community, the majority are senior citizens that live in mobile or manufactured homes. Think about that 13 minutes. That radar, our spotter network, and our spotters, we're all working for one thing, to extend that warning time with people's lives. That's all we care about. Now, as of this last cold snap, you guys remember when you first seen me years ago? I came up here, I was preaching up and down. As of this last cold snap, thanks to Mr. Key, the mayor, and the inmate community, we had 3 warming shelters open, one north, one middle, one south. I'm proud to stand before you here tonight and let you know they were used. Not only were they used, but they were used by senior citizens with their animals. I applaud you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because one of the worst things that I have to do in my responsibility is report those fatalities to the National Weather Service. That's my responsibility. I, like my brother veterans there, I've seen way too much of that. And that will be the reason that I one day walk away from all this. I'm not sure if you've heard, but the mayor knows all too well because he gets briefings every day from me, just like everybody else. 92 citizens across this nation lost their lives in this last winter storm. One of them being right there in our neighboring county, when an elderly man, I say elderly, he was 64 years old. He got home that night, stepped out of his car that was still running, fell on the ground and couldn't get up. The man froze to death. That's what we want to avoid. And every step we make, and every time I come before you, so far, you guys have all bent backwards. I know there was some this and that with the radar. There it is, and Climate Vision has lived up to their word, ma'am. All we're doing is moving forward. Thank you very much. And I don't want nothing from you. Believe it or not a dime. Thank you. That's all I came to say.
Thank you.
Number 3 is the citizens forum. Do we have a commissioner's forum? Do we have a commissioner that'd like to speak? Commissioner Preston.
Thank you, Chair. Since our last meeting in December, the Tennessee dollar settlement for the opioid dollars has grown from $640 million to $1.1 billion. I provided language that meeting that described the opioid abatement council we'll be deciding the process for applying for funding in the form of grants. And I made some errors in the conversation. I'm going to correct them tonight. The corrections are the announcement for funding for the opioid grants was made July the 17th. It contained directions, it contained instructions about applying for these grants. The portal for these grants, applying for these grants was open September the 1st in 23 until October the 16th. To receive submissions for these grants, the council will now review and assign these applications with scores. The anticipated date for announcement of the approved grants is May the 24th. 396 submitted applications from 250 agencies. The portal is now closed, and Benton County, we missed it. We dropped the ball. We didn't know about it. How did we? I don't understand that. There were 8 meetings last year, the most recent being December the 14th. There was one in October, August, June. We knew not about none of them. The opioid subjects that we can't agree on, that some of us fuss and argue a little bit about in here, they're being utilized all over our state. 396 applications describing the number of people that's going to be affected, describing their innovations, new ideas, working with other people, other groups in the county, outside the county, partnering, working together, prevention, education, treatment, all of the above. To provide funding to implement opioid abatement remediation strategies, including primary prevention, harm reduction, treatment, recovery, support, education, training, research, and evaluation. I want to apologize to the Prevention Coalition Peer Project Coordinator, Nikki Green. She spoke with us last month. Her group's conference is going to National Harbor, Maryland for a 4-day conference at a cost of a little over $17,000, and the county didn't give her a penny, or didn't give them a penny. The organization covers at least 3 opioid funding principal strategies: prevention, training, and education. Now for the good news. The good news is the Opioid Council plans to open the portals again for new grant applications. And this will be in the 3rd quarter of this year. The 3rd quarter of this year, we're going to get another opportunity. 70% of the opioid dollars will be going to the counties. 70% of $1.1 billion, that's $770 million. That's going to be spread out over 18 years. And I think I've skipped it. They have announced another opioid abatement council meeting. It's in February. It's an emergency meeting. It's going to be virtual, and I hope that a bunch of us want to be involved. The Center for Disease Control has identified through analyzing factors such as overdose deaths, pharmacy sales of painkillers, 220 counties in the USA most at risk of outbreaks of HIV and hepatitis as a result of the opioid epidemic. Of those 220 counties, that's 5% of the counties in the United States, 41 of these counties are found in Tennessee. Benton County is ranked 24th in the nation of being at risk of one of these 2 diseases. January the 30th reported Cumberland Heights, Tennessee ranks 3rd. Tennessee ranks 3rd in the USA for prescription drug overdose. Tonight, there's not a more important subject than the subject that's being talked about. I ask you, Mayor Mark, please lead us in this direction. Please lead us in the direction of these opioid grants. Prevention, education, treatment, all of the above. Chairman, thank you for that moment. Do I have time to speak on the senior citizens if I made it brief?
Yeah, you have a minute, please.
Okay. Next month, the subject of senior citizens will be written in a resolution. Just some facts to take home and think about. Tennessee County's average is being seniors 17.1%. Benton County's population of a little better than 15,800, we're averaging 23.9% senior citizens. Benton County, of the 95 counties in Tennessee, we rank 6th in the largest percentage of senior population, 3,791. 12.3% of these live alone. 12% of these seniors live in poverty. I'll be looking into these numbers a little closer, but I'm finding 600 veterans that are seniors in Benton County. Our senior citizens organization has a membership of about 170. The accommodations that Benton County that provides for the seniors, I give a failing grade. And don't take my word for it, go see for yourself. Moving on. In closing, the 2022 audit numbers show Benton County spending more money on the animal shelter than we're spending on the senior citizens. I'm going to close with that, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other commissioner?
Madam Chairman, I just want to give an attaboy to a bunch of people. As cold as it's been, we've had a highway department out working on the highways. I watch people say, well, they ain't been by our road. We've had a lot of roads in Benton County. And I know Buck and his crew's been out there scraping the roads and trying to get them passed the best we can. And the sheriff department, I listen to Skinner all night long. The sheriff has had deputies out on the road, changing tires for people on the interstate that's hit potholes. We don't have potholes in Benton County. But, you know, and they've been out assisting people wrecking every morning. It seems like it's 4 or 5 cars in the ditch. Every night they're constantly wrecking when the deputies are out there. I want to thank the water department, the city of Canton. You know, they're out here with major water breaks. The highway department, the city highway department, the fire department is out there clearing roads and stuff. You know, we've got a lot of people that out here, when we're sitting at the house nice and warm, the electric company, I don't want to leave nobody out, but they do a great job protecting us and trying to make our roads passable and protecting the citizens. And I just want y'all to know I'm thankful. I live in Benton County. We got people that will get out and help.
Anyone else? Okay, then we will move on to number 4. County Mayor, do you have anything?
I think I've said enough.
Okay. Okay. So we'll move on then to number 5, which is the approval of the minutes. And we had 2 meetings last month, our regular meeting and our special called meetings. So I want someone, when you make your motion, if you would please to make the motion to approve the minutes for both meetings.
That's my motion. How do you know that?
I don't know. I just read your mind. Okay, do I have a second? A second by Commissioner Price. Nope. Okay. Yeah. Voice vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Minutes have been approved. Number 6 is the report of the public utilities. Motion. Motion by Commissioner Douglas and a second by Commissioner Arnold. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Number 7 is the nomination and appointment of a 5th District School Board member. As far as I know, we have one person here, Mr. Brad Mills. Would you mind coming forward and introducing yourself to the commission?
Good evening. My name is Brad Mills. Some of you may not know me. If you ask some of the preschoolers in this community, they may know me as Fireman Brad. Some of the older children might know me as Mr. Brad. And some of the old timers might know me as Little Doc, and a nickname from my granddad, Doc Horton. But I was raised in this community. I'm a product of the Benton County school system. I think they did a pretty good job. I'm working to complete my 3rd degree in education. Undergrad in elementary education at Lambeth, master's degree in education at UT Knoxville, and Lord willing, this semester I will finish my doctorate of education at Tribeca University. And that's where I currently work. I've been in higher ed for 16 years. I taught for 2 years. I taught middle school at Huntington, and then I moved to Knoxville, taught a year in middle school there. My wife and I are both from Camden. We moved away for college and for jobs, wound up down on the Alabama coast where it's a lot warmer this time of year. We found out we were going to have twin boys, and so we wanted to move back home to Camden. So we're invested in this community, not like we have a business, but it's where we chose to return to raise our kids. And you could say education might run in the family. My mother's a retired school teacher from all the way from elementary all the way to the vocational center. My sister teaches currently at the elementary school. It's not lost on me why I'm here tonight. Joey Cooper was a legend, and I am not trying to fill his shoes. I can't do that, but I can do my best to serve this community and serve the children and the youth of this community. I think public education, there are two main purposes. Number one is to keep our children safe, full stop. Number two is to prepare them to be productive citizens, whether they go to work or they go on for higher education. Either or. I don't place importance of one over the other. And so that's who I am. I'm happy to serve. Was asked a few years ago if I would consider, and too many irons in the fire, but I hope to finish my doctorate this semester and would love nothing more than to serve the community. Any questions? Thank you.
That's good, isn't it? Okay. Since we only have one person here, we can take this vote by voice vote. If you are in favor of Mr. Mills, you will say aye. If you oppose, you say no. And if you oppose, then we will do a roll call. So all in favor of Mr. Brad Mills being appointed to the Benton County School Board, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Do we have anyone opposed? Okay. There are none. So the ayes get it. So you now are a member of the Benton County School Board. Tomorrow, if you would please go by the county clerk's office so that she can swear you in. Okay, she could have done it tonight, but she didn't bring the correct sheet with her, so she can take care of that tomorrow for you. Okay, now we are down to our resolutions. We're at resolution number 1. Is a resolution by Sheriff Ken Christopher to declare various items in possession of the Sheriff's Office as surplus property and dispose of them in accordance with associated regulations. Need a motion? Motion by Commissioner Arnold. Okay. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, please vote at this time.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries. 13 yes.
Resolution number 2 is a resolution by DOS marked warrants to budget funds in the amount of $268,925 received from TISA and salary equity funds to the school's budget for expenditures. I have a motion by Commissioner Arnold and a second by Commissioner Douglas. Any questions or discussion? There are none, so everyone please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries. 13 yes.
Resolution 3 is a resolution by DOS marked warrants to budget funds in the amount of $20,575.53 received from the state of Tennessee as a refund for paternal leave to the school's budget for expenditure. I have a motion by Commissioner Arnold and a second by Commissioner Price. Any questions? There are none, so please vote. Mr. Arnold, would you like to vote?
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries, 13 yes.
Resolution 4 is a resolution by DOS Mark Florence to appropriate and budget funds in the amount of $60,934 from the school's unassigned fund balance to the school's budget for additional cost associated with a fire pump at the Career and Technical Center. I have a motion by Commissioner Douglas and a second by Commissioner Arnold. Any questions? There are none, so everyone please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries, 13 yes.
Resolution 5 is a resolution by DOS Mark Florence to budget funds in the amount of $1,878 received from the eDynamic LP to the school's budget for instructional software. I have a motion by Commissioner Price and a second by Commissioner Douglas. Any questions? Everyone please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries, 13 yes.
Resolution number 6 is a resolution by DOS Mark Florence to budget funds in the amount of $42,776.23 received from a public school security grant to the school's budget for maintenance equipment. I have a motion by Commissioner Burke and a second by Commissioner Nunley. Any questions? Commissioner Arnold.
Director Florence, what is that actually going to be doing? I think it says school security, maintenance of the building, and changing doors, windows.
That, we've had the normal school safety grant was about $60,000, and Mr. Phelps applied for additional funds. So we actually have that budgeted for. The grant was to add additional cameras and door locks. So it's just, that's what it's for. But it's an additional 42 thanks to Mr. Phelps and his work for submitting to that grant.
Appreciate it.
Any other questions?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Florence. If there are no other questions, everyone please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries, 13 yes.
Resolution 7 is a resolution by Benton County Mayor Mark Ward to seek adoption of the state recommended CTAS model ethics policy of 2022 by the Benton County Commission. Need a motion and a second. A motion by Commissioner Bain and a second by Commissioner Douglas. Have any questions or discussion for the mayor? Okay, there are none, so everyone please vote.
You don't wish to change your vote? Motion carries, 13 yes.
Resolution 8 is a resolution by Benton County Mayor Mark Ward to seek permission from the Benton County Commission to enter into an agreement and sell the county-owned property popularly known as the Rankin property, along with an adjoining portion of the county-owned land to Volunteer Paving LLC for the sum of $650,000. I have a motion by Commissioner Arnold and a second by Commissioner Bain.
I'd like to have them come and speak before they go to this.
Okay. Recognize Jennifer Wheatley, our Economic Director.
Hello. Y'all had a busy night already. Several of us have spoken about this, and with your assistance, I think I'll go over some questions that have come up in the last week or so, and we'll just talk about this for a minute if you want. I want to make sure that everybody's clear on what we're doing. The gentlemen from Volunteer Materials are here, and if there are any questions you want to ask following this, they'll be happy to answer them. We're talking about the property known as Rankin and Ivy out on 641 North, and we are having that survey to create a 40-acre lot, which meets their needs. and we will retain 15 acres there. The corner of 641 and Gossett Road is what we're going to retain because we have some commercial uses that we need that. So we need access to Gossett, so we're going to keep that portion. We're going to sell the 40 remaining for $650,000. We have been asked some questions. How long will volunteer remain in Benton County? And the answer I got from Chad, who is here tonight, is we hope to operate in Benton County for the next 100 years. We're making a significant investment in land, site work, and equipment. We are running permanent gas line and power lines to our equipment. Our local investment will be over $10 million. We would not commit this level of capital if we didn't intend on staying for a long time. So that was one of the questions that has been asked of me. Will these folks stay here more than the time it takes to fulfill any existing contracts? And these are their employment projections. And the asphalt plant will run 4 to 8, the paving crew about 12, the milling crew 6 to 8, the dump trucks 10 to 30, and the pavement marking 6 to 24. The low end of employment is 38, the high end would be 82. So if you wanted to come in the middle there, that again is from them. And the third question I have been asked most is, do they have any pending contracts which would be fulfilled through this plant? And they've got a TDOT contract in Hickman County and a TDOT contract in Benton County. And the amounts there are $6.26 million and $8.94 million. So those are the things that have been asked the most of me. There's one more slide, which is just my phone number. I don't know who. Somebody didn't have my cell. You're welcome to my cell, okay? Anytime. It's up there. You can come to the office and see me. You can call me. You can call the house. Does anybody have any questions? I want you to understand this, and I want us to be, it has come through, budget didn't meet because they didn't have a quorum. It has come through property, and this comes with the endorsement of the Industrial Development Board. We had a special called meeting to talk about this project. So, any other questions? Yes, sir.
Okay, of course, you know, when I've been to you and I've been to Mark, I'm going to vote no for this.
I understand.
I see more out of this property than another asphalt plant. You know, nothing against volunteers, but I'm sure it's going to pass. But what I was looking at, you got one asphalt plant there already. You talk about the crews 6 and 8 and 12. Will they be employees at this asphalt plant, or will they be out of the Lawrenceburg plant? Would you like to come up and talk about it?
Never thought I'd be so happy to see 46 degrees. But, to answer your question, we've got 2 state projects we have to build this year. We're already under contract. So for the first project, we will probably bring employees from the Lewisburg plant. Right?
Will they be paid through Lewisburg?
We pay for here. And to give you some idea of what these first 2 projects, if we had the plant up and running, we could probably double that amount of contracts this year. But
only one more contract here in this area, and that's our SR Route 1
right.
for Highway 6. It's going to be their estimated $165,000, and you got to pay the bill, right? And don't get me wrong,
that's right.
I'm not promoting whatever else other asphalt plants there.
Sure.
I just seen more for that property as far as our driveway in Benton County.
Right.
But anyway, I know you got these 2.
We've got the state's got quite a bit of money, state funds. They
got $3.2 billion. They're going to split.
Absolutely.
It's going to go $750,000 to West Tennessee, and a lot of that. But what I've talked to some of the big states, they're going to use that in Memphis with bridge problems and things of that nature.
There's quite a bit of state resurface work, and that's what we're in business to do. Yeah, we've got a limestone quarry. We've got a sand and gravel mine over in Humphreys County. We've got 1 asphalt plant. This will be our second location. We've got a trucking business, about 32 tractor dump trucks. And we've got a pavement markings business as well, where we restripe roads throughout, right now, Region 3, but hopefully Region 4 as well. One of the reasons we've been planning to come to West Tennessee for about 3 years now, and these 2 projects made it attractive for us to move
now. That'd be awesome.
That's the reason why. For these two projects, to give you some rough, about $5 million of that total is material sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all that's taxable at the state level. So on that, on just these two projects, it'll generate about $149,000 just the local state tax revenue. So that's the 2.75% that says locally. So that's I mean that's just the start. We hope that it will grow and grow each year as our business grows. We'd like to build a permanent warehouse on this site and a shop for our road striping business. It takes inside storage, environmentally controlled storage for the paints and for the plastic beads and for the trucking. And that'll be a permanent establishment there as well. So this first $12 million of investment is just the beginning of our investment here in West Tennessee.
So on this, I know on these two projects right here, you got to October the 31st of 2024.
We do.
So put an end to get those done.
That's correct.
You've had 4 sites that you've looked at already.
We have, yes.
What are we, second, third on the list, or what are we?
Well, really, time's important to us, right? So we've got to get these projects built. And if you got anybody's driven up I-40, I'm sure you'd like them built as quick as we can build them, so it's potholes, right? So time's very important to us. So we looked at a site in Humphreys County, one in Decatur County, and 2 here in Benton County. And really, this is the one that can move the fastest.
Right. Do you plan on putting a temporary plant? To be honest with you, I've been in the military for 32 years. My first job was 150 field engineer company with the rapid runway repair, and that's what we did. We set up an asphalt plant and a rock crusher. Are you going to put a permanent asphalt plant there, or are you going to set up a temporary plant, or what are you thinking?
It's a combination of both. The silo and the scales, the scale house, the lab, the drag will all be permanent. It is a portable type asphalt plant that can move. We never have to move it, frankly. We have to leave it here for a long time. We think competition is good, whether you're buying gasoline or you're buying asphalt and paving roads. We believe competition is going to be good. So you'll notice we were low bid on both those projects by a significant amount.
Well, I mean, I looked at it. I just looked at it, and we bought that property and enjoying the property I already had. I just thought, nothing wrong with the asphalt plant. We got one there already that's got 4 or 5 plants all the way around also. And it looks like it's going to be just like what we got going on. You know, what happened with the North 40 or Love's Truck Stop. Both of y'all are going to be bidding for the same deals. If you pull out a Vulcan, it's going to be the same mineral tax. It's going to be the same sales tax. I pulled it out here, and they're pretty good to do bids. We had talked about $30,000 a month. That was like 5 or 6 months out of 2 years. They paid $241,000 in sales tax within 2 years. I run a small business. Paid over $125,000 in 2 years. So, I just don't know how we're going to get that much mineral tax, that much sales tax, when you got 2 sitting right beside each other. And I can for the Delta or for a volunteer. I'm looking at what I thought we were buying that for. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this was a plan. I see you've got a lot of work you have to do to make that work as far as meeting DOT standard to get out on the road and things of that nature. But I was looking for more. Maybe I was looking for a motel, chick restaurant, something to do maybe with Blue Oval coming in. Blue Oval, a lot of this money that you're talking about is going to go to Blue Oval from plants out of Michigan. It's going to come up and set up on site because they want some on-site pavers down at 42. A lot of that money is going to go that way. The only project we've got going on now in this region is going to be State Route 1, which is Highway 70, which they're guesstimating $165,000, $168,000. And you're a good paving company, I'm sure. You wouldn't be here if you wasn't. But I just don't see us making any money to promote when we got 2 companies putting against each other. And that's it. I don't know enough about you for what we got going on. I've made suggestions to her. Hey, let's cut him a deal. Let's lease him the property, give him access to the road. What's that road called? Yeah, so you don't have to do all your land thing. Do your year lease, let you get your stuff done, and let's talk about this before we make a big thing. But no matter what, it's probably going to pass. I think we're going to get money for something. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's the right thing, not because of paving, but I looked at more for to help Benton County for coming down our driveway. That's what I looked at, to be strictly honest. And nothing is Mr. Swallow.
Okay.
No offense
Yeah,
taken.
really.
No offense taken.
I'm not an advocate for Delta, Dement, Jones, Arrow, nobody like that. I just did some research on here the last 2 or 3 days. I just had a bigger vision, really did.
Mr. Fowler,
I know, turn around 2.5 months on property we bought really sounds good, make 75 grand, keep 15 acres. But we don't know, we don't know. This is
Commissioner Fowler, let's let someone else ask some questions or speak. Okay.
Question, please. How many plants do you have in West Tennessee already?
This will be our first.
First one. Good. Have it.
Commissioner Arnold.
I just want to make a statement. Mr. Fowler said that we've already gotten one asphalt. I'm gonna vote for it, but, years ago, I've been in the trucking business. It was just pretty well a cut and dry thing. Here in West Tennessee, Dement's getting the contract. You know where in Middle Tennessee, it was Jones Brothers and Rogers Group. It ain't that way no more, folks. So, just because you've got one already there, they may not get that contract. It might be Jones Brothers in Decatur County who has their own kid who will get that revenue off. It won't be us. And I think it'll be a good thing that property is suitable for this. A lot more suitable for this type of construction than, some of the other things that, we bought property, I voted no. It's not favorite. But I think your type business, you can go there and change the building, the property, you can make it work for what you need. And I think it'll be an asset to the county.
Keith, what reason did you vote no for that? Didn't you say EPA, the creek, and things like that? And the creek and stuff of that. You wasn't a realtor on this, was you? Just one.
You didn't do the body work on the car.
Not yet.
Anyway, I think that, I think it's just an asset to us. Because they got the equipment to build it, they got the job, and everything more stuff. I appreciate it.
Anyone else like to speak on this? Commissioner Preston.
Commissioners, last time I checked was June or July this summer. That month, Delta across the street from where you're talking about is the largest contributor to our local option sales tax for that month. They paid $30,000 for 1 month. Vulcan, the mining company, was number 2. Just a few dollars behind them. Last year, Vulcan contributed to Benton County greater than $100,000 in sales tax. The truck companies. We have a tax that some of y'all probably are familiar with. It's called a DeLorean tax. This tax is paid by the railroad companies that go through Benton County. It's paid for by the barge companies that use our river. It's the fiber optics going under the ground. I think we got one pipeline that's paying us, and we got one MD using airport that's paying us. I only have a 2021 schedule for DeLorean tax. I didn't have time to get it more recent. We have 15 truck companies. Of those 15 truck companies, 8 of them have Benton County addresses. For that 1 year, they contributed $108,000 in DeLorean tax. Now, you're going to ask me where you want to find that in the budget. It goes in with the property tax. The largest truck company pays $65,000. Now, what about the yield of floor? Commissioners. Commissioner Fowler has just told us he's voting against this resolution. Yes, sir. I respect that.
Let me give you one more thing while you continue.
Please, I will silent when you talk, okay? Very importantly, there are 5 absentees tonight. That is 5 votes against this resolution. If 4 of us, 3 others, and Commissioner Fowler, this resolution gets defeated. I think y'all need to sit in them seats and think long and hard before you join Mr. Fowler with a no vote. Now,
I think you should too.
Take your question.
Okay, you talk about the $30,000 in July. There's your list from 2022 to 2023. A total of $241,000. Delta set idle from 2022, didn't do nothing. You only worked those 5 or 6 months. And there's your list if you want to see it. What I'm saying is, sir, you're going to be competing with another asphalt company we ain't gonna see no change in mineral taxes. You may haul some gravel out of it. One or two of y'all is gonna win that, most likely, for West Tennessee. One, most likely, or Jones or somebody of that nature. I understand you won the bid by $700,000 over Delta on this, and Delta you beat by 2 point something million over Jones's. Good pricing, real good pricing. But I promise you, it's nothing to that. I'm just telling you, I've seen more for what we bought that for 2.5 months ago than two asphalt companies set beside each other, going to pay about the same mineral tax. And then on top of that, it'll be about the same amount of asphalt, because we're going to put that same amount on the road as Jones's, Arrow's, Jamal, or something of that nature. And we only got one more bid for West Tennessee that is going to be in a state route Highway 70, and it's set for 2025. But you talk about 30, that's only for 2 or 3 months out of the year, Rocky.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, that's it. Right. You talk about the other side of it, you got your property tax. So you're gonna pay property taxes on $650,000, what you're paying for.
I need to.
Just gonna pull a section of it of that. And I'll shut up. Everybody's got your mind made up already, but I wish you'd take a while to think about it. Throw it on the burner for next month, check your numbers on it, and do it, man. Amend it. Lease it, do something before we put another asphalt plant beside another asphalt plant. It's been here since 1999.
I'm going to recognize Mayor Ward. He wants to speak.
Mr. Swallows, I want to thank you for coming and presenting tonight. I appreciate you being willing to come to Benton County. We look forward to working with you. I disagree with Mr. Fowler 100%. I urge every commissioner to vote for this. We're buying land to move Benton County forward, to create jobs. This has happened fast, and that may scare Mr. Fowler, but
Mr. Fowler, please. Comments.
I've heard worse.
Anyway, all I'm saying is you're going to create 40 to 80 jobs in Benton County, and that's the reason we have economic development director that's working hard for us. We have an industrial board that's working hard. I see it as a step forward progression, because the money that we're going to take out of that, we'll buy another piece of property that another company can look at. We've been stagnant so long in Benton County. No jobs, no growth. So we appreciate you being willing to step off in Benton County and become part of us. I built a motel back in 1997. First motel that was built in Benton County for 35 years. I was excited about it. I had no idea if it would do good or not. We just did it, me and my wife. So I was real proud about it. It was staying 100% full. And then one of my best friends built a hotel a year later. And I was, nervous, scared to death, mad at him actually. And I thought, it's going to bankrupt me. It's going to cut my sales in half. All it did was bring more business to Benton County. It more than doubled our hotel motel tax, our sales tax, property tax that we were bringing in on those properties. So I see this situation as the same. You may be competing, but competition is good. If Buck's still here, he'll say, maybe we'll get a better bid on our county roads and we can have more asphalt laid. Do you only do state bids?
We do state, we do city, we do subdivisions, we do it all.
That's what I'm saying. So where Delta's sitting stagnant for a year, they're going to be pumping out asphalt. They're going to be paving stuff. So I just urge y'all, let's utilize the people we have working for us with Jennifer, the industrial board, myself. This is what we're recommending. I would appreciate y'all's vote.
Any other commissioner? Commissioner Nunnery?
What would you say is the average pay rate for your employee?
Our lowest hourly pay rate's probably $21 an hour currently. Our average rates for our employees probably would average $55,000 to $60,000.
Anyone else? Okay, at this time, thank you, Mr. Swallow and Jennifer. Thank you very much. We're going to take a vote on this now. So if you are in favor of selling this property, you vote yes. If you're not in favor, you vote no.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 12 yes, 1 no.
That motion carried. Resolution 9 is a resolution by Benton County Mayor Mark Ward to appropriate and budget funds in the amount of $8,740.10 from the unassigned fund balance to the Gladys Tutria Fund to the animal shelter budget for the purchase of needed washer and dryer for new fencing. I have a motion by Commissioner Arnold and a second by Commissioner Douglas. Any questions? Okay, everyone please vote.
What resolution did you vote on?
That was resolution 9 about the animal shelter.
Thank you.
Mr. Preston? Mr. Preston?
Oh, right, you can put that spreadsheet.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 13 yes.
Resolution 10 is a resolution by Sheriff Ken Christopher to appropriate and budget funds in the amount of $35,000 to the sheriff's budget to cover a shortfall in overtime pay for the sheriff's department. I have a motion by Commissioner Price and a second by Commissioner Bain. Any questions for the sheriff? Commissioner Preston?
In the meetings I've been to, I've heard a lot of criticism going towards the sheriff over his overtime request dollars. The sheriff's been challenged with why so much overtime. Questions have been put to him with more deputies, overtime should be less. The budget committee, time and time, I have heard them tell him too much overtime dollars. Let's consider the numbers, the new numbers and the old numbers. The audit shows the sheriff spent $219,069 in 2022 on overtime. So why does budget only approve $97,328 for the 24 fiscal year? That's a difference of a little better than $121,000. Budget and others, in my opinion, want the sheriff to feel like he's doing something wrong, that his numbers are bad. In 2013, there's a little bit of overtime history. In 2013, the year before Kenny was elected, the budget committee estimated $150,000 to be used for overtime. And the year Kenny was elected, not his first budget was 2015. Again, budget estimated $150,000 to overtime. The 2013 budget reflects the sheriff's budget to be estimated at $1,826,755. In 2023, the audit that was just released shows the sheriff's cost for the 23 year a little more than $2,010,000. That's a difference of $18,369 a year growth over 10 years. That growth, commissioners, is less than 1% a year. So much we hear about the sheriff spending on cars. The audit numbers for the 4 years before Kenny becomes sheriff, the county spent $250,000 on patrol cars. 2012, the actual dollars spent on overtime was $144,333, and that was 12 years ago. The sheriff describes lots of his overtime dollars are spent on bailiffs. Bailiffs are the people that keep our courthouse safe. Transports, that's the ones that transport the prisoners to another county, another state. To keep, the sheriff has cut the spending on line item 189, the bailiffs and transports. This isn't their overtime, this is just their salary. That has been cut. The 2023 audit shows $24,371 spent on bailiffs and transport. Go back to 2012, you had $75,000 spent on bailiffs and transport. Budget estimated for the jail, state prison dollars. They estimated for the 2023 year to be $203,000 dollars. The actual dollars was $335,872. That's $132,872 in addition to what budget estimated, and all that money goes to the general fund. The sheriff don't keep a penny of it. The 2013 budget estimate for 10 deputies, this is 11 years ago, was $337,000. That was the budget's estimate. For the 2023 year, and this was 14 deputies versus 10, 300, or somebody trying to call me? $397,000. It's just a difference of $60,000 over a period of 12 years. The sheriff's office budget, I'm going to pass this. The overtime, we had a special called meeting. We were told by budget and others kind of got lost, y'all. We had a special called meeting. It was December the 28th. December the 28th. The resolution read they wanted to take somewhere around $42,000 from the general fund, unassigned fund balance, to put in the sheriff's account to cover the lawsuit settlement. My question is, we've got $350,000 approximately in the deputy's account. They've used about 32% of that money. Why was that money not taken from the sheriff's account? So I ask, why was the dollars not used for the sheriff's office lawsuit? Why did we pull money from the general fund, unassigned fund balance? Instead, on December the 28th, we called a special meeting and took care of it. Was this special called meeting to cast a dark cloud over the sheriff? To leave a question of, will property tax be raised?
Oh, there's no question about that. There's no question.
I'd like for you and I to sit down and you show that to me sometime, please.
Does anyone else have?
I'm going to yield. I'm kind of got lost a little bit, Chair. I'm going to sit down and yield the floor.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions about the overtime? That's the subject that we're on right now. Who is it?
Brett Burke and Martin Douglas.
Okay, they haven't announced the amendment yet. Okay.
What I'd like to do, and I'd like to say, budget is not against the sheriff. We've done everything in our world trying to help him. I've known him for a long time, and we're behind the sheriff 100%. But all I'd like to amend, I'd like him to get the money, but amend it from coming out of the unassigned fund to come out of 54110. That's the deputy's fund. Of course, we put the money in the deputy's fund where he could hire the deputies. He's having a hard time finding them. He's got some hired, and I just want to move it because, like he said, they've used 32% of it, I believe, so far.
As of January 10th.
Yeah, as of January. And I don't want to keep him from hiring. If he can hire some people, hire them, and we'll do something else. But right now, I'd like to amend it to come out of the deputy's fund. Instead of
Okay, we have that amendment, and Mr. Douglas, you made the second to that amendment. Okay, any questions or discussion about the amendment? Commissioner Arnold.
Mr. Burke, you're talking about taking it out of the money that he got behind. I understand. He turns around finding deputies that he can hire. He won't have the money in there. We'll put it back in there.
right now, he's used 32% in 6 months. And I think he's hired 2 deputies, still looking for more. And I'll back him 100% if he finds more to hire.
Anyone else? Any questions about this amendment? Okay, we have the amendment on the floor, so we're going to vote on the amendment. Okay. Everyone's ready? Please vote.
So would you change your vote? Amendment failed, 9 yes.
The amendment wouldn't be. The amendment's not 2/3.
The amendment is not 2/3. Because the amendment is not, we're just changing the language on here to a different account. We're not voting on the money as of yet.
Okay. So you don't need 10.
No. Well, yes, but that says up here that it failed because of 2/3. We don't need 2/3. 2/3 would be 12.
There's not 10 yes. Okay.
Okay, no, I stand corrected. You're right. I had to have 10. Okay, so the amendment did fail.
Can I make a quick statement, please?
Yes.
We're told by budget to take the dollars, not to take the dollars from the unassigned fund balance, just move the dollars from the deputies or the investigators' account. And like we've agreed, there is a lot of money in both of those accounts. So I ask, and this is what I kind of stumbled through, why were those dollars not used for the sheriff office lawsuit instead of calling the December 28th, 23rd special call meeting to take the money out of the unassigned fund balance? That's my question.
The reason is because we had to make payroll, and you can't spend payroll money to pay lawyers and stuff. That's in his budget. It says by state law we have to appropriate that money. I had to have y'all appropriate it to put it in his budget to pay those raises that the lawsuit we settled for.
I appreciate that answer. Thank you for explaining that to me, and I'll sit down.
That's what the state told us we had to do, so that's the reason we called the meeting.
Anyone else? Okay, we're back to the resolution as it is prepared. And this will take 2/3 because it is new money that we're moving. So all in favor? Vote.
One, two, three, four, 6, 7, 8.
It failed without you going.
It does. No, actually,
We need 12 members.
This isn't playing that game.
It failed. I mean, it passed with exactly 12.
Anybody wish to change your vote? It's 12 yes and 1 no. Motion carries.
Okay. I have been asked to take just a short break, so we're going to take just a 10-minute break.
Thank you.
It's done. It's gone. and budget funds in the amount of $6,000 to the sheriff's budget to cover the cost of reimbursable grant. I have a motion by Commissioner Arnold and a second by Commissioner Bain. Any questions? Okay, there are none, so please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries 13 yes.
Number 12 is a resolution by Mayor Mark Ward to budget funds in the amount of $7,408.80 to the proper expenditure lines for the purchase of new jury seating in the courtroom of the Benton County Courthouse. Motion and a second, please. Motion by Commissioner Bain, second by Commissioner Price. Any questions for the mayor?
Right. Y'all see the chair behind the sheriff with the yellow tape on it? They've been there for 30 years and they're falling apart, so I think it's time we upgrade a little bit. I think the black ones look better, match better.
Would you like to change the color, Commissioner R?
Yes.
You want to go back with orange?
No.
I'm gonna request we change the color.
Okay, everyone please vote for resolution 12. We're down to the, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Anyone wish to change your vote? 13 yes. Motion carries.
Number 20 is the appointing of notaries, and we do not have any this month. So next is any other business. We have a couple of resolutions. If anyone seems proper to make a motion to suspend the rules for resolution 13 and 14. Okay, Commissioner Miller, we need a second. Second, Commissioner
Nunnery.
Okay. Nunnery. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
That's right. This is not a voice vote. I'm sorry. If you're in favor of suspending the rules for 13 and 14, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries.
Resolution 13 is a resolution by Mayor Mark Ward to appropriate and budget funds in the amount of $1,660 to the proper expenditure line for the purchase of various data processing equipment for use in the Benton County Clerk's office. I have a motion by Commissioner Arnold and a second by Commissioner Murphy. Any questions for our county clerk? Okay, there are no questions, so please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries 13 yes.
Resolution 14 is a resolution by Sheriff Ken Christopher to budget funds in the amount of $2,076 received from various sources to proper line items in the sheriff's budget for expenditures. I have a motion by Commissioner Bain and a second by Commissioner Price. Any questions?
Ours we scrapped out.
Okay.
Brought in for various different things. Just nothing to scrap them, we just scrapped out.
Okay. There are no questions, so everyone please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 13 yes.
Okay, does anyone else have any other business you want to bring up? Okay, Commissioner Price.
Yes, kind of like to address this to you, Mr. Mayor.
I think most of us received a summary of audit findings in an email form from the comptroller's office. And I'd like to get pose a question. Did you give any additional information on some of these, like number 2 here about the football field expenditure and questionable legality on that?
I talked to the comptroller about that specific one. We fund our schools 100% pretty much with property tax and sales tax. Most of the money comes from sales tax that we, the county, gives to the schools. And it's by law. But they said you can't write the school system a check for something when they're funded by other sources. That in the future, if we are going to give them money for something like that, which that was voted on prior to this commission and my administration. But if you're going to give them money, it has to be funded through the same sources as you're already giving it. So we would have had to give it to them in a property tax, more property tax pennies, or by sales tax instead of giving them a check. So I think that they didn't like the procedure. They want us to change it if we do it again, but I don't see that happening. So I think it's good for us to know that in the future, but they have not released the full audit. They've given that out so you guys can see what the findings were, but to go into very much detail on any of them, I'll probably need the full audit.
And one more question. Can you give us an update on Walmart?
No, the gentleman has till February that has the contract on it. I'll tell you that with interest going up from 2% to 8.5%, it might be harder for him to get that done because it's a $6 million project. But he has not told me no. I've asked him several times, just like you, I wonder what's going on. But they hadn't had very much movement since it's got cold. So we'll just see.
If we get that back, have we got a way forward and look at anything as far as what we're going to do with that property?
I don't know. We'll have to make that decision if that happens.
You don't have any prospects.
Anyone else? Mr. Price brought up the county audit. I have an email that says if you want a copy of it, make sure that the comptroller has your email so that they can send you a copy of it. If they don't have your email, you won't get a copy by email. And the other one is our Tennessee Ethics Commission. This what we have to have filed by January 31st. So it's coming up pretty soon. If you haven't filed that yet, you need to by the 31st. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We have to file it every year.
Conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest. So you need to do that by January 31st. And one other thing. The Second Harvest Food Bank has asked the commission before in the past if we wanted to volunteer to work one Saturday morning. And so they have given me a date of February the 10th. It would be for 2.5 hours from 9 o'clock to 11:30 a.m. So we would be out there volunteering to help. Does anyone know if they would want to volunteer that morning? Okay. You don't have to, tell me right now. I'll send out an email so that I can get a list of who wants to volunteer. I will. I'll go out there that morning. She says she needs 5 of us to come. I think we can get up 5. And that's it. That's all I got. Anybody else? Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Commissioner Arnold and Commissioner Miller. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? I knew you would. Okay, we are adjourned.
Good deal.
I didn't talk. I guessed it right.
You did good.